Hi everybody, T. Gabrielle here. You know, I don't know anyone who likes having a hangover. With all the partying going on at this time of the year, matter of fact I have one to go to in about 2 hours, thought you guys might appreciate my solution to a hangover. Of course I use food as my medicine, and in about the same amount of time you can boil a pot of water, you can make something to help with the hangover, and that's something that's also very bodlicious good for you. For our soup, we are going to use seaweed. Now, seaweed is available everywhere, especially at the Asian stores. They come in, there's brown seaweed, there's green, there's black. I'll talk to you about seaweed and give you more information as we get our food going. Let's stick with our, this time I set my timer for 13 minutes. So far we've been able to beat the timer. What I have here is a pan, and I'm just simply going to add some olive oil to it. You can be generous in this occasion because for some reason the oil does help with the hangover. I have my pot of water, and behind me it's boiling on my good stove. So I'm just going to add just one garlic to my heated olive oil. You can add more if you want. Garlic is good for you, good for a hangover. So I think I will go ahead and add more to my soup. Oh, great. Perfect. That's just what I wanted to hear. I wanted it to sizzle. You don't have to get really particular about this, especially if you have a hangover. It's really tough to do things because, you know, your head is swollen, you feel like you're dying, and you swear that you're never going to drink again. But that doesn't happen. Every now and then, we all have a little bit of too much of something. We end up with a hangover. I have my garlic. It's coming through nice. It just so happens that I have some ginger, so I'm just going to take a piece of ginger and let it sizzle with my garlic. And let that stay for a moment. I'm going to let my garlic get a little bit browner so that it's a little bit tastier. But let me tell you about seaweed. Seaweeds are edible plants from the sea. All the minerals required by human beings are present in seaweed. Most importantly, it's present in sufficient amount. I mean, and I must stress, sufficient amount. So this is ready. I will tell you more. My water is boiling. I like this technique of boiling the water and then adding it for my soup because it works really well. So I'm going to make ample amount of this. I've got an entire pot of soup going. To my soup, I'm going to add chicken bouillon. You want to go a little bit heavier on the salt. For some reason, that helps with a hangover. You know, seaweed has iodine, iron, zinc, potassium, and what it does is somehow it feeds the shafts of the hair, and it is believed that seaweed is the reason that Japanese people have such thick, luscious hair. Actually good for your hair. Isn't that great? So I will be eating seaweed a lot more often than when I have sushi. My water's boiling. I want to make sure that things are tasty. You don't have to add anything but the seaweed to this. I'm going to add some fresh herbs because I happen to have some on hand. As you know, I always have fresh herbs on hand. These are important things to add to your soup. Turmeric, because hangover is actually a swelling of the brain. That's why your head feels like it's going to fall off. But it won't. If you do this, you'll recover nicely and bodliciously. I'm going to add some white pepper, and I think I'll go a little bit heavier on the cayenne pepper because that is good also for the hangover. have to do now is taste my soup and make sure it tastes right. You see, it's got the orange color to it. Hot. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's good. I'm going to let it sit. So now, I like this type of seaweed because although it's small, when you put it in, it expands. So I'm going to put a nice, almost a handful into this. While this is expanding in my water, releasing all of its nutrients, which is going to help with the hangover, I'm going to get our plating ready. The other thing I'm going to do is I've decided to add 1 egg to it just to give it body. You know, they say that the cocktail with the raw egg, and oh, I read some really strange stuff that they say you can do for a hangover. Trust me, this is the more bodlicious thing that you can do for yourself. So I'm going to add 1 beaten egg to my soup. My soup is actually done. I have not heard the timer yet, so again, it appears as though we've beat our timer. The other thing you can do for your hangover is go in your refrigerator, grab your frozen cranberries that I told you to keep on hand. Hopefully you went to the store and you got some because they won't be available after the holidays. You take that. Since they are frozen, I'm going to add a cup of warm water to it. And I'm going to make my cranberry cocktail, which is going to help with the hangover. But right now, let's focus on our soup. There is a recipe for the cranberry cocktail that you can look at. Our soup is ready. We're just going to plate it. Nice, nice, nice. It worked with me this time. I really want you to see that the seaweed has expanded. These are the seaweeds with all the nutrients that a human body needs. All the minerals, all antioxidants, everything you need to actually cleanse toxins off your body. You know what? I'm just going to try and pour this, but that's not going to work. I could try, I may make a mess. So what you want in your soup is you want a lot of broth in your soup. Try not to serve the big piece of ginger. And I'm an impatient person. So I've made 2 wonderful bowls loaded with seaweed. Oh, look at my seaweed. And look at the mess that I've made. Oh well, virtual assistant, you have some work to do. Jeez. I am just rushing because I have this party to be at in 2 hours. So pardon me if I improvise here. We have made, in less than 12 minutes, a wonderful hangover soup that is going to make someone feel a whole lot better. This is my hangover soup. It is delicious. I'm going to start eating more of this now that I know it feeds the shafts of your hair. This is to Gabrielle. Try this soup the next time you have a hangover. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.